answer to no one but God. If you are not Jehovah or Allah, I do not recognize your authority.
Katt Williams just sent the whole internet into a frenzy after he read Kevin Hart for filth and exposed him for being an industry plant. This came after Kevin accused Katt of being a raging drug addict and capitalizing on conspiracy theories about Hollywood to justify why his career flopped. In a new explosive interview with Shanon Sharpe, Katt claims he's just been collecting receipts for the past 30 years and that he knows for a fact Kevin is an industry plant who was placed in Hollywood's by the elites to replace him. He accused Kevin of selling his soul and integrity for fame and claimed Kevin was even made to go through the humiliation ritual by cosplaying as a gay man for a check. Now, this ain't the first time Katt has had to drag Kevin for taking shortcut, but this time he went in on him and revealed some very disturbing details that has everybody side-eyeing Kevin.
I got a show at your hometown in Philly. I'm gonna take my special there. On that stage, we can put whatever you want. A full-court basketball court, a boxing ring, 2 microphones for a rap cipher, or you can get your ass dusted in comedy on that stage. But it's $1 million up for each one. That's $5 million, Mr. 28 million in Forbes. I'll be bringing mine in cash, Mitch. Bring yours however you want. And since you're not a puppet, don't bring no white people with you then.
Now, if you've been on social media these past few days, then I'm sure you've seen clips of Katt's new interview with Shanon Sharpe, where he called out almost every comedian that you can think of for their BS. However, what really got a lot of people talking was when Katt described Kevin as a fraud and blatantly accused him of being an industry plant. But unlike what most people think, this isn't the first time that Katt has accused Kevin of selling his soul and his morals to get to the top. He called him out a few years back when he accused Kevin of cosplaying as a gay man to get to the top. See, back in the early 2000s, there was an ongoing conversation about black men being made to wear dresses and wigs at some point in their career to make it into the industry. One of the first people to speak about this was Dave Chappelle, who recently sat down in an interview with Oprah Winfrey in 2006 that he got into a disagreement with the producers of a movie he was doing with Martin Lawrence at the time, because the producers tried to get him to wear a dress.
I mean, I'm a conspiracy theorist to a degree. Like, when I connect dots that maybe shouldn't be connected, I don't know. But certain dots, like when I see that they put every black man in the movies in a dress at some point in their career, I'll be connecting them down like, wow, all these brothers gotta wear a dress. This happened to me. I'm doing a movie with Martin.
Yeah.
The movie's going good. So I walk in a trailer. I'm like, man, this must be the wrong trailer because there's a dress in here. They come in. It's the writer comes in. I think he's the writer. He's like, Dave, listen, we got this hilarious scene where Martin's sneaking out of jail. So he disguises you as a prostitute. And he put this dress on. And, what? A prostitute? No, I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable with that. That should have been in the discussion. What? You don't feel comfortable with it? I mean, it's a hilarious bit. All the greats have done it. So, well, if all the greats have done it, it's kind of hacky, right? You're right. So why don't we just not do it? Because I don't feel comfortable wearing a dress. Oh, come on, Dave. Listen, we got it all set up. We were supposed to shoot. Every minute you waste costs this much money. You know, the pressure comes in. He said, I'm not wearing no dress, man. I'm funnier than a dress. Just give me something funny to say. I don't even wear no dress to be funny. What am I, Milton Berle? You know, we're going like this. And then finally he's like, and he leaves. And then, like, the director comes, Dave, it really would be great if you wear the dress.
But that wasn't it, y'all. Dave also revealed that the producers had a whole other script written down, just in case he ended up saying no to wearing the dress.
The minute it was clear, I was adamant. I'm not wearing the dress. I'm not wearing the dress. All right, fine. Think of something else. Guy comes back 10 minutes later, the whole new scene. Hot damn, how did you write the scene so fast? You know, it's like, so You gotta take a...
Kevin Hart was later asked about his thoughts on Dave's comments about black men being forced to wear dresses, and he went on and on about how he would not compromise his morals and his boundaries by putting on a dress.
Dave Chappelle, another great comedian, said that, you know, in the industry, they tried to make him wear a dress. Have you ever ran into that with scripts, and is there something that, you know, you wouldn't do, you know, for
I definitely haven't ran into to put on the dress. I mean, you know, you have to have boundaries. You have to have limits that you refuse to cross. You know, for me, I know what they are. They've yet to been challenged, so you know, I don't have to speak on them. I was asked to dribble a basketball on a talk show this morning. I said no to that. Not that was a dress, but I was like, no, I'm gonna look stupid. You know, at the end of the day, you got to know that you're a brand. Yeah. I'm a brand. You need to protect your brand at all times. When things happen that can possibly affect your brand, your brand can be diminished, and you don't want that to happen. So, you know, protecting my brand is definitely a priority.
But just a few months after this interview, Kevin went against his own words when he appeared on SNL wearing a dress and rocking a lace front on his head.
And here come the Cardinals. And from the looks of it, the new pope is not Turkson. The new pope is 9-year-old Oscar nominee, Kavashane Wallace.
Wow. I don't think anyone saw this one coming.
Kevin received a ton of backlash for this, with some people accusing him of selling his soul and others calling him a hypocrite. He ended up addressing the backlash in a very lengthy tweet by saying, "I wore a dress on SNL because I thought it was funny. I made that decision. Nobody made it for me. I'm my own boss." And when Katt was later asked what his thoughts were on Kevin wearing a dress, he said it wasn't Kevin's fault that he wore that dress, because there's a long history of black men being made to wear dresses in order to transition to that next level of fame. And Kevin was just one of the many people who fell into that trap.
At the end of the day, Kevin doesn't have to worry about what people are going to say about him wearing a dress because of the long line of dress-wearing people before him. So now we had Big Mama's house 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah.
I've never seen Medea in a pantsuit. I think she wears dresses. So now I'm saying, why are we picking on poor little Kevin Hart? Because it was his turn next.
Okay.
After this whole dress controversy, Kevin's fame began to skyrocket, and the media was working overtime to make sure Katt would be made out to be a raging drug addict who doesn't have that much going for himself. The substance use allegations got so bad that it drove Katt into a mental breakdown, and he came out to debunk everything.
You're a sucker. The reason I don't do cocaine, Big Tigger, is because I had a tumor in my upper jaw and they had to take it out, and they had to block the whole right of my sinus with a piece of metal. So ever since I got out the Marine Corps, I can only breathe out of one nostril, boy. I get my blood tested every 3 months for the last 15 years. All narcotic tests have come up 0.00%. I'm 44 years old. Little Tigger. You look up my rap sheet. I have never had a DUI or a possession of anything, not even the marijuana I do every day. See, when you real, you can tell the truth about anything or anybody.
Katt returned again in 2018 when he put Tiffany Haddish on blast for also being an industry plant and claimed there were way more talented people who barely have the success Tiffany has because they didn't sell their soul like she did.
46 female black comedians that I know personally that I put on tour who have a hard time getting a chicken sandwich from Chick-fil-A after they headlined 7 shows at a club
for $2,500 a week.
But people like real, and that's why they like her.
Is that what they like?
They love real.
Because everybody's real then. So don't trip.
No.
Is they so ghetto? When did that become marketable? Knock it off. They like her because she want to sleep with a white man. That's why the only thing she said was, I want to give it to Brad Pitt.
Now, even though Katt didn't mention anything about Kevin, he decided to be petty when he and Tiffany appeared as guests on The Breakfast Club. Kevin accused Katt of being hooked on substances and said Katt was just salty because he hadn't seen half the success that he and Tiffany had experienced throughout their career. He also said Katt is busy blaming the white man and other people for his failures when he should really be blaming his substance addiction.
My frustration with Katt Williams comes from, you keep pointing at Hollywood. Hollywood this, the white man, this, and this. When do you take responsibility for your actions? You had the shot.
Katt was in that position at one point.
You were the guy.
Yeah.
You were set up to be the star. You didn't show up to work. You f***ed off promo shoots. You f***ed off your promo trips that they had set up for you. You became a risk to the studios, which is why the studios stopped f***ing with you.
Why was he a risk?
He chose drugs.
Oh, okay.
Take responsibility for what you chose and say, you know what, I gotta fix me, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna stand up for comedy. So when you say Tiffany Haddish doesn't deserve or isn't really a comedian and these other women have worked hard, which they have. Shouts out to Melanie Camacho, shouts out to Lunel, shouts out to Leslie Jones, who are all underneath the umbrella of Katt Williams. Katt Williams, have you ever used your platform to bring the people that were under you up? You haven't. So because you haven't, don't on those that now are. I've used my platform and I've brought my guys and girls up. The brand of Kevin Hart is a brand that's expanded so far, whether you like me or not. My presence in comedy will forever be felt because I'm a boss. I sit on the top of it, and the opportunities that I'm giving are the ones that I'm creating. So take responsibility for what you did. You. Nobody else did. You don't hear Chris Rock, Dave Chappelle, the Kings of Comedy, Seinfeld. You don't hear George Lopez, Eddie Griffin. You don't hear who else can I go down the road of other comedians? Steve Martin, Martin Short. You don't hear the guys that got on top and that made it by doing what they love complain about the people that are coming under them. The reason why is because they're happy with themselves. Don't blame everybody else for your shit. Don't shit my sister Light because you're not happy with your shit.
Katt took Kevin's comments about him being an addict very personally, and he jumped on IG Live to drag Kevin and set the record straight.
So while he wasn't there and off making 85 million, I was over here not making 85 million. But it's all good. I don't mind $1 million a month and keeping my soul. And as long as Richard Pryor was able to be the king of comedy and a crackhead, they gonna continue to say maybe I am. But again, I urge you, if there's a drug you can do that'll get you Katt Williams level, bitch, you should OD on it tonight.
After this whole back and forth, they both stayed away from talking to each other for a while and went on to do their own thing. That was up until a few days ago when Katt came for Kevin again, and this time he went all in. He said Kevin's come up was not organic and that he's just an industry plant being funded by the white man. He said Kevin only had fame in the West Coast before he was picked up and thrown into Hollywood to replace him and other black comedians who actually put the work in. Katt was basically putting it all out there that he believes there's no way Kevin could have been able to climb to the top of Hollywood so fast without the help of the white elites fueling his. He also talked about how, unlike Kevin, he has not accepted any form of payment to hold back from certain issues.
And this is why when I walk in a room, heads go down.
Went on to put Kevin on blast for being a Hollywood lapdog and accepting to take on movie roles that he had rejected because they made him out to be a homosexual man. As expected, Kevin did not let all this slide, and he clapped right on back at Katt. He mocked Katt's interview during his commentary on the New York Knicks versus Philadelphia game. He made a few sarcastic and unserious jokes about Katt buying the Knicks and dropping them off at the next game.
Another fun fact about the New York Knicks, I don't know if you guys know this, but Katt Williams bought the Knicks.
He definitely bought it.
He bought the Knicks, and it's rumored that he took the Knicks back
returned them with a receipt.
Yeah, you could do that. You didn't know you could do
the
that.
first person ever did.
Yeah.
Another known fact, Katt dropped him off.
Oh, wow.
Cat
In a
just dropped
spaceship.
John Morant.
He gave him a ride.
In a spaceship.
Okay.
In a spaceship.
Copy that.
Spaceship that he parallel parked.
Known fact, Katt Williams has a NBA basketball court in his living room. He's the first to ever he's the first to embrace a true hardwood floor.
Yeah.
He bought it in his home.
So, as y'all can see, Kevin's little weak attempt at clapping back at Katt was not successful. A lot of people didn't find it funny and felt like he was triggered by everything Katt said because there was really some truth to it. Now, as usual, people had their own thoughts about this and didn't hold back from spilling them. Like this person, who said, "I love how Katt Williams is aware of everything going on, and every time he says something about this kind of stuff, everything adds up. Sadly, Hollywood is full of hatred, jealousy, and greed. I wish the world was a better place." Another person said, "I always had a weird feeling about Kevin Hart from the moment I saw him. He appeared too right for me. Said the right things, went on the right shows, did the right promotions, did the right movies, engaged with the right people, and so on. His jokes weren't funny, in my opinion, and I couldn't stand his cheesiness. I'm glad Katt nuked the industry. Guy has balls and honor. Love to see it." But now I want to know your thoughts. What do y'all think about Katt Williams calling Kevin Hart out for being an industry lapdog? And do y'all think Katt is just salty that Kevin turned out more successful than him? Or did Kevin really sell his soul to get to where he is today? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And don't forget to click here to watch this other very messy video.